so in the beginning it was very challenging, but now it's second nature.
Or die.
I won't fight you.
Hi, how are you?
Fine.
Great jacket.
Thank you.
Oh, wow, it looks so cool.
Thanks.
Nice.
So in Andor season 2, they
Yeah.
say that rebellions are built in hope.
Yeah.
Nowadays we are living such dark times. Do you believe that we can still have hope?
Oh, I think we need hope. I think we will always have hope. I think that's one of the wonderful things about Star Wars is this constant exploration of hope and what that looks like, and characters that give grace and forgiveness when you can't possibly fathom it. I think it's not about having things be so black and white, and thank God for Luke doing that with his father. Thank God for, having that revelation between her and Anakin that could allow her now to be a teacher in Sabine. I think it's about this evolution and development for all of these characters that is what makes it resonate to all of us so much, that we are not defined just by one day, one choice, one situation, that we get to make a different decision sometimes, and we get to see what the repercussions of our actions are and change and evolve, and I think that is one of the reasons why this story has been so beloved, intergenerationally. It's not just fantasy. It's not just something, an escape. It, I think, really delivers a sense of hope to us because it reminds us what we're capable of when we care. It's, I have to say, one of the most incredible experiences of my life, learning how to be ambidextrous. It's really fun, and we were doing some training and, watching some of the other actors on set, and they'll switch sometimes to the left hand and talk to me about just, whoa, that's actually really, really hard. Even some of the stunt folks who are not used to it, and it's interesting because for me, I'm at the point where if I do too much with my right hand, my left hand feels off. Like I'm used to kind of doing the stances and doing both at all times, and so it's actually really amazing because I was saying, like, even on this trip, I've been eating, sushi with chopsticks in my left hand, and like really kind of, it's really just sort of opened up a different sort of physicality, which is a really interesting thing to do when you get older and you get so set in a certain kind of way. And so in the beginning it was very challenging, but now it's second nature. I was so nervous when we weren't able to promote the show because of the strike, and then seeing, we weren't even told about the fan premieres that were happening. I saw it online, like when it started just airing, and to see the fans' responses to it was just so unbelievable. And it's because of them that we get to do this next season, and I'm so excited because I think there's still so much to explore with these characters, and they mean so much to me, and it's so beautiful how much they mean to everyone else. And it's our story, it's our adventure together. It's like this exists because of the fans. So I'm really, really excited that we start filming in a week. Even when we talk about when the show came out, we weren't allowed to promote it, and then it was the fans who did that. It was the fans who made it successful and made it possible for us to be able to watch it and continue to be able to start filming a second season. Like watching the fan premieres that happened around the world and people showing up with costumes and lightsabers waving everywhere. It was just like so powerful and so emotional. That's the dream. That this thing that you love so much is also so embraced and celebrated, and that we get to enjoy it together. And I'm just so grateful. I think that so much of what I love about the character of Ahsoka is her character. I think she's just someone who we got to watch evolve from being this spunky teenager, who bucked authority, to kind of becoming this incredible leader. And even though she left the Jedi Order, she always continued to follow the way, and really represented what I think the heart of what to be a Jedi really is. And I think it's been really beautiful to see how selfless she's been in this sort of Roman kind of adventure lifestyle that she's led. It's something I've wondered about, her loneliness, in that experience. And so I, when I saw her in Rebels, and now, with this show and being able to explore becoming a master herself with Sabine, it's really exciting to me to see her evolve as this person who, as much as she's, I think, been disquieted by a lot of fears around attachment and kind of the powers that could turn you, that she saw that with Anakin. It's really nice to see her have a different energy of hope, I think, and be able to pass that on, because you saw her pull that back with Grogu. She wasn't willing to go there, but now we're seeing her willing to go in a direction she's never gone before, and I really love that for her. I think she's a really, really special character. She means a lot to me, and I'm happy to see her in her community. No, I'm really excited for her. I was saying that, it's interesting thinking about her with, kind of pulling back from the idea of teaching Grogu, but now stepping up to be a master for her new Padawan in Sabine. And I think a lot of what's possible with that is because of how much you've gotten to see her heal with her relationship with Anakin, in the previous season. And, and I think it was really, really beautiful to see her kind of confront her fears. I don't think that those totally and completely dissipate or go away, but I think something was very healed in that, and that she could allow what I think was what we love about Star Wars so much is that no one is defined by any one action, not even many actions, but there's always a possibility for grace, there's always a possibility for forgiveness, there's always a possibility for growth and development. And thank God for Luke doing that with his father when no one else could have possibly imagined that there could be any redemption. And so I think that's really cool to be able to see Ahsoka. I think it's really cool to see that there's this evolution in her, as masterful and capable and incredible as she is, and how willing she is to put herself on the line. There's something else too, in that same way that you saw her as a kid, leading someone else and being responsible for them as well, and passing on what she's got, and that's been a really, really fun thing to explore.